Place, Making My Parents' American Dream Come True. And in the book, she talks about being the daughter of immigrants and the immense pride she has for her faith. Joining us now is author and founder of the Exodus movement, Elizabeth Pipko. Elizabeth, welcome and congratulations on the new book.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, well, last night we heard from several immigrants at the RNC. I want to play a clip from one of the Cuban immigrants, Maximo Alvarez, who spoke. Take a listen.
President Trump, he's fighting the forces of anarchy and communism. And what about his opponent and the rest of the DC swamp? I have no doubt they will hand the country over to those dangerous forces.
You've been a strong advocate for President Trump. How do you see the world for immigrants if he does get another 4 years?
Yeah, look, I mean, the argument against immigration that everybody claims that he supports is absolutely false. My entire family came here from the Soviet Union and are very proud Trump supporters because he supports them. He supports people like them that gave up everything to come here legally and to be here and to be proud American citizens. And literally, there are many people like my parents from across the world who not only are here, but are maybe even still out there, still dreaming of a chance to get in here. And I support them so much. President Trump supports them so much. And it's up to us as Americans to respect those people and realize what America means to all of them.
Something, gave you the political bug. You came to volunteer for the Trump campaign. So what made you do that? And what did that do to your career, if anything, as a model?
Yeah, so I talked about it last year, and the reason that I only got to talk about it last year was because I kept it a secret for almost 3 years. I volunteered for the president's campaign. Within, I think, a month, I was hired as a full-time staffer on his campaign, which was the highlight of my life. To be 21 years old and work on a presidential campaign of that magnitude, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, I would have thought you could agree was a big accomplishment, but clearly people did not think so. So I kept it a secret in order to keep my modeling career, and then last year officially released that to the world and realized that people really did take it as seriously as I was scared that they did and shunned those that didn't agree with them, and I have not modeled since.
Wow.
So do you think, that's amazing to me. What's the comment, or do they say anything, or do they just go dark on you once you kind of came out as a supporter of the president and that you'd worked for him? And do you think that there's any hope that you could go back to anything in fashion or modeling?
Yeah, so I was mostly just blocked. Like you said, everyone kind of just went black on me. Everything, every contact I had kind of disappeared overnight, which is what I expected. I do have hope. I genuinely do. I think my book hopeful, should be hopeful for a lot of people. The goal of my book was not to, push some Republican or far right ideology of any kind. It's not even a very political book at all. The goal of America is to be able to have free speech and free thought. That's the goal of my book. It's the goal for my future. And I'm hoping people can understand that how you voted in one election in 2016 does not really tell anybody who you are, especially the important parts of who you are, and should not dictate whether we can or cannot work in different industries.
You started this Exodus movement that is essentially trying to get Jewish individuals to come over to the Republican Party. We heard a lot of this last night. Black Americans telling their fellow Americans, you don't have to vote Democrat just because you're black. You're essentially saying that to the Jewish community. You don't have to vote Democrat just because you're Jewish. Is that message resonating with them?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's deeper than that. Look, you don't have to vote anything just because you are anything. It's that simple. My entire life, people assume that I was this staunch liberal because I was a woman or Jewish or from New York City, and that just wasn't what I believed in. And it bothered me less as a Jew or a woman, but more just as a human being, that anybody would assume that I believed in anything before actually having a conversation with me. And when I was thrown into this political world, not really knowing what I was going to do with my future, I decided to put everything into advocating for pro-Jewish causes, pro-Israel causes, which Donald Trump firmly supports. And it was really proud to do that and to show other people that you should not be afraid to do the same thing.
That's awesome. I love your story. Thank you so much for sharing it, and congratulations once again on the book, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, her book, once more, is called Finding My Place, Making My Parents' American Dream Come True. It's available today. Well, coming up, Sean and I are going to give you our take. That's next.